Hey, it's Nick Thorne from Wing for Life, and this is an interview with Armie Armstrong. Now, we did this interview with a live audience down here at SHQ Boardsports. It was a great interview with Armie. We had him on the big screen. We had a wingfoil info night. We had a bunch of people in the shop, all wingfoilers or people that want to get into it. And we really enjoyed this interview with Armie, and I hope that you enjoy the interview as well. Check it out.
Yeah. Hey guys, sweet. Stoked. What time is it? It's 7:30. Awesome.
Yeah. So for everyone here, Armie's in New Zealand. What time is it there? 9:30?
9:30.
Oh, thanks for staying up, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm Nick. Obviously, by the way, we haven't met, but yeah, we have now, I guess, on Zoom. But
awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Armie. Yeah, we've got a bunch of people down here interested in winging. We've got, if you see some movement, it's probably because pizza's going to rock up soon. We've got a few beers and a lot of pizzas on the way. So,
oh, damn it. Wish I was there in person. Next time we're there.
Yeah, dude, I think the travel bubble's opening up soon. We can travel to New Zealand soon.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Yeah, you're stuck there, man. We're all stuck there. Hence the Zoom. Yeah, so, man, I just wanted to, if you could just give us a quick little overview of the Armstrong sort of story, you know, like how did you start this company, man? And, you know, yeah, I know you're making.
It's kind of, I don't know. I guess I've always tinkered away with stuff. I actually did underwater camera work for years in the film industry and made underwater camera gear for the movie industry. We made housings for RE2Cs, 35-3s, right up until the digital age. And then I just went surfing in Raglan for 5 years, kind of thought 20 years in the city and the film industry was enough. Went surfing for a few years in Raglan and met a bunch of people down there, and we started making boards and stuff. And then we started, you know, breaking foils and breaking gear, and like, okay, well, let's try and make something that doesn't break.
Yeah, that's a sick story. Love it. And then bang, just start the company, eh? Let's just do the company.
Well, that was it. Well, but basically, I'm kind of an animal, so we just used to break everything we were riding, like. And
now you're just foiling next to America's Cup.
Well, sometimes, you know, when you get lucky, yeah, no. So it was pretty cool to have that here last week, and we won again, of course. Kiwis all the way.
Nice, mate. Nice. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, man. And the one thing we had James on earlier from Conrad. We were asking a few questions.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you as well something that's always intrigued me with the with this wing foiling sport. Is how do you guys design the foils? I mean, you just grab a profile of a wing or whatever. I mean, how are you designing the foils? You just chucking them, saying, let's just try this, go ride it, and then make it? You know, what's sort of the process you're doing here?
Yeah, well, it's a step-by-step process, really, and you get as much intel as you can from everywhere. And, you know, I actually take a lot of inspiration from nature. And we actually started by basically looking at the system that would, you know, actually try and, you know, stand the test of time and last. And then the first foil I made basically, got a section that we wanted to try and use, and then just drew up an outline and a leading edge profile. And from there, I just handmade it. Basically got about 25 19 mil thick pieces of wood, cut the profile into those, laminated it together. That was a long story, and there are actually photos I think on the website, maybe still, I don't even know, of that process. And yeah, we made a foil, we tried it, went, yeah, okay, that works. Let's, you know, try this, try that. And really, it is a lot of trial and error. And then once you got something that works, then it's just change one thing at a time until, you know, you got something that works. And that's the same with your riding too. So for example, if you've got whatever foil you're on, and you're feeling really comfortable on it and you're ready to go a bit faster or get a bit looser in your turns or whatever, just change one thing. So the first thing might be just tune the pitch of your tail. So, you know, you got your stabilizer, just chuck a shim of some sort in and just tune the pitch of that. Change one thing, see if you like it, see if you don't. And then once you're comfortable with that and you're like, yep, you've maxed out, you know, how fast that tail will go, we'll change to a smaller tail. And then change your front wing, you know, so it's just one, but just change one thing at a time. If you change more than one thing at a time, you don't know what's going on. But that's why it takes forever.
Yeah, man, that's a really good tip. No, that is a really good tip. I appreciate that. And with that flying V tail you're holding, man, that looks pretty sick. We're getting there here soon. What's the deal behind this? Like, it looks crazy. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I've been working on this shape for years. Actually, Sky, Rama and Maui did something last year with a mate of his up there, real cool group of people. But we started playing around with this shape. This basically comes ultimately from fast fish tails in the ocean. And we just, thought, well, hey, they're the fastest fish in the sea. Let's copy the shit they're doing because they got something right. That's it.
Love it, man. So you just see the fish like the fish put on the foil, bang, and put little wings.
Yeah, boom, there it is. Then, to be honest, then we did look at what Boeing were doing with some stuff and some of the airplane stuff. So then we came up with, I don't know how much you can see on this thing, but it's got some funky stuff going on. So yeah.
And it's got a bit of flex in it too, eh? That thing flexes, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's pretty stiff, really, to be honest. I mean, but it is only, what is the section at the tip? About 2.5 mil thick, so it's pretty thin.
Okay. So look, there's so much stuff coming. You got the new high aspect front wing as well. We
got that here too. Boom, I got that just in case.
Yeah, man, I've ordered one. Like, I'm waiting on an Army. Come on, man. Nah, so yeah, that looks sick. So what else have you got sort of coming down the line? You got more of those high aspects, different sizes coming?
Well, really, the key thing that we've done at the moment is just done a big upgrade with the whole system, mostly for the tails actually. So the tail area, it's something been working on for ages, and the original system was great, except that probably the trim fairings were thicker than they needed to be. That was a fundamental design issue with those. It's still a great system and it's stronger than most, I think. But basically, what we've done with the new fuse, this is an A+ fuse here, which we can talk about. But we basically put the meat that's in the trim fairing into this part of the fuse. So we've got the fuse here is actually 1.5 mil thicker than the original, and this shape here, it's the same as the TTF, but slightly lower profile. So when you chuck the tail on, you can put it directly on here. So that's like putting it on to a TTF directly, or you can put the shims in, the polycarbonate trim shims, which, will tune your angle. Now, we've kind of simplified that because it's easier without a shim in some ways, but also the tail story, it's quite a long story, which we are going to do a video with. I don't know how much time you guys have got. I could talk about it for about 3 hours.
Maybe we'll watch the video on the look, just because pizza's coming here shortly, so yeah, I know that people will probably want pizza of the tail story. But look, it's nice to see how passionate you are about it, man. It's awesome. Where do you see this sport of wing foiling going? I mean, it must be like growing in popularity over there in New Zealand. I mean, it's growing in popularity here. Like, where do you see it going? Are more people getting into it? Are you going to see like wings and boards completely changing like you're doing the foils?
Oh yeah, I mean the great thing about it is there's so much development to go, but also there are so many sports that are already really developed that ideas are coming from, and so it's really developing fast. It's kind of the same with foiling, and so to me anyway, the thing about winging is that it's probably the easiest entry into foiling. And kiting's great if you can already kite, but kiting's always had that issue with strings and beach space and stuff like that. So, for example, I've windsurfed and kited here, in Auckland for my whole life, and we've launched in places winging that we never even thought of windsurfing, because it's like, wow, you just paddle out 50 meters and you get 10 knots and away you go. So it's just that accessibility, and combined with like wake foiling, so people can learn on a wake boat and then get out, behind a wing. And it's just, I think it is the easiest foiling sport that you can do. And it's the easiest sailing foiling sport you can do. And it's the most fun.
Yeah, I sort of really said, it's sort of like everyone's got their own America's Cup, yacht at their feet. I think that's why attracting a lot of people to it.
Yeah, it's just the efficiency, and it's the efficiency, it's the glide, the sensation is just beautiful. And as Nathan Outridge said, why not? Why wouldn't you want to go foiling? Like, it's just too much fun, as you guys all know.
Yeah, very cool. So I've got one more question before I open up to the floor. I'll let you guys ask questions first. Actually, does anyone want to ask Armie a particular question?
What's with the stripes?
Yeah, you can think. If someone wants to know what's with the stripes on your design.
Stripes. Okay, well that is a super cool. That is a super cool story. I'll tell you that story really quickly. Basically, I wanted to put stripes on because Jacques Cousteau did a bunch of work in the 70s with sharks and stripes and sharks and deterrent. And then a bunch more science has been done, and there is a deterrent effect. Apparently, they can't tell exactly how many objects it is when it's in the water. You don't quite have the same vision. Imagine fish are a little bit like when your goggles are off when you're swimming around, not quite, but sort of similar. And so things aren't 100% vision. They use a lot of other sensors. And when they see it, they're like, yeah, we're not quite sure exactly what that is, and they're less likely to go for it. So that's where the stripes came in. And then I met a really talented Colombian artist, Juliana Duran, and she drew this up, tapered the tapered stripe pattern. And yeah, we think it's cool. Apparently some other brands too, but hey, all good.
Nice, man. Nice. Anyone else got a question for Armie while he's here?
Yeah, I was bringing out more of a high aspect range.
Yeah, man. We want more high aspect range. What are you bringing out more of that?
Well, it depends on what exactly you mean by that. I'm not sure who asked that question, but what do you call high aspect? Question one to you.
Definitely the U1's the highest aspect that I've seen.
Like just like your HA 1125.
Yeah, just in terms of.
Well, there ain't anything else on the market like that, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, more sizes in that.
Yeah, will there be more sizes than that?
Yeah, there definitely will be. What are you writing at the moment?
Unifoil, but yeah, maybe on.
Yep. Sure. So do you know what sort of number they're putting their foils at? Which ones are you liking
You mean
out of their
aspect
range?
ratio or?
Yeah, sure.
Probably around the 6, 7, I think.
6-1 leaks.
Yeah,
The
6.
1125 is 9.8 there. Just geeked out. I got the full brain.
Yeah, I'd call those high aspect in the foil game, but only just really. And really, this thing here, this is only just a high aspect foil. You know, that's the reality. Like the America's Cup guys, they're all around 13. Well, hey, the guys that win the cup anyway, Team New Zealand, they run about 13 to 1. So
what's that?
There's plenty to go.
The new people here, what's that going to do? What, like a 10 aspect ratio? What does that mean for me if I'm going to?
Yeah, okay. So there's a whole bunch of things going on, and it depends on section and your cord percentage thicknesses and stuff. But generally, with a higher aspect, you will get more range for the size. So you can use a smaller foil with less energy. But the flip side of that is you need speed to keep the flow connected to the top surface. So there is a trade-off, and that trade-off is two things. There's you need to maintain a bit of speed, but most people who are, I would call advanced spoilers, can do that easily. The other trade-off is always going to be turning, because when you got so much span, it's never going to turn as well as a low aspect foil when you got lots of energy. So when you're turning in the pocket, a high aspect foil is not what you want. And yeah, some people can make it work, but it kind of looks pretty lame to me personally. So if you want to go rip in the pocket and you think you're going to ride a high aspect foil to do that, you're dreaming.
So we were talking about some tips for beginners before we came on, man. What do you got? Any sort of quick little tips for people that are getting into foiling?
Just do it. Yeah, just do it. Start big. Listen to someone that's get lessons. Listen to someone that's doing it, or get lessons from someone, a shop, anyone. And yeah, just do it. It's just so much fun. But start on big gear, big board, big foil. Go really slow. The reason, probably the main reason why foiling took 45 years to catch on, like I'm doing a project with Mike Murphy at the moment, who's been literally foiling for 50 years. He invented the air chair and basically started the sport, bolting a foil onto leads board. And it took that long because all those guys made super thin, really, high speed foils, and they're super hard to ride. Everyone just got poundings learning, and they were like, that is way too fucking hard. I'm not doing it. So start big, start easy, get into it, progress from there.
Sweet. All right, Armie, our piece. We got more questions. All right. Okay. Go on.
I've got a question regarding the A+ upgrade, the A+, just a little more technical. I know you sort of said you can't drill through the fuselage through the titanium part for the mast part. Is there a particular way that might be possible to upgrade the fuselage, put that whole?
Okay, so key point we can just go into real quick, but all this intel's coming out in video form very soon. But basically, for your front foil, all the current fuselages, you can put the barrel nut. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can put the barrel nut for the front foil into your current fuse, okay? And that's really the main point of the upgrade. The extra screw in the mast, it's a good thing for longevity. I actually haven't found it necessary the whole time, but seeing as we're doing an upgrade, we thought, okay, we'll do that too. So you can run this straight in your current mast without adding this hole in your current mast, with or without your current fuse or whatever. But you can still put through the barrel nut in your front foil, in all your front foils and A+ system front foils. And there's an upgrade kit coming with that. It's pretty cheap. And you can tune all your bits if you want to use those barrel nuts in your front foils.
Thank you.
Sweet, thanks.
But yeah, the fuse itself is titanium core, so good luck tapping that. I mean, people, you can do it. If you take it to an engineer shop, you can drill it and tap it, but you need someone who knows how to work titanium, and that's going to cost you some dollars.
All right, we'll get a couple more questions. People should be keen. I'll just say that, guys, if there's pizza there, so before it goes cold, just welcome to go up and grab some, because we'll just go over time with Armie here. I've got a couple more questions.
So,
yourself, mate.
A related question: how critical is to have A+ for the new higher spec wing?
You hear that, Armie?
No, because you can still put. So the main difference for the front foil is there is an extra hole on the top, right? And the barrel nut. So what we've got is I'll just show you real quick. So we've got a longer screw and a barrel nut that caps in on the other side. So when you end up with that going right across the span from one side of the connection to the other. So you've got an 8mm barrel nut on this side, which is like adding an 8mm screw to the other side. Now that definitely helps with the front wing connection for longevity. And all of your existing fuselages you can do that with. The extra hole in the mast to the fuse, it's probably not even necessary. The biggest thing really we did with the fuse is we just streamline and strengthen the back end like that. That's a bigger story, because in reality, it's strengthened it and made it lower profile. So the tail connections are finer and cleaner, and that definitely improves your drag. So yeah, we've improved, the thing, because it was the right time to do it.
Great, thanks, mate. I'll go later on then.
Yeah, where's your favourite spot to ride in New Zealand and outside of New Zealand? Have you spent much time in Australia riding, like foiling or wing foiling?
I haven't spent as much time in Aussie as I'd like to. I've had a few Aussie trips. Where in Aussie? It doesn't even matter, man. Anywhere. I mean, the Gold Coast is so fun. The West Coast is so fun. Nauru, wherever. We'll be stoked to go winging up that West Coast sometime. That'll be so fun. I've kited up there, but I haven't winged. And then in NZ, Raglan and Pawanui. Can't really beat those two spots, really. Yeah.
Sweet, you'll have to show us. We'll come over, mate. We'll do a trip. Organise a trip.
Yeah, all our current marketing for the A+ and all the new gear is all in Pawanui. That was just one day in Pawanui.
Looks amazing. They want to know how you spell it.
Top secret.
Look it up. Google it.
It's in the Coromandel. You'll find it.
One more question, man.
I mean, like 12 months ago, did you see winging getting as big as it is now? 12 months ago.
Yep.
And
it hasn't even started. It hasn't even started.
My next question: if you had a crystal ball, where do you think it'll be in the next 12 months? What do you think?
Who knows in 12 months? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's proper mainstream in 2 or 3 years. Probably a year. Let's see.
Do you see fragmenting like windsurfing has, the freestyle, slalom, wave?
Yeah, I think it might go down. It is quite closely related to windsurfing, really. But it's on a foil, and I don't know. It's really interesting. I think the race thing will happen. I think wave stuff will happen. It's already happening. Freestyle, a whole lot. Yep, it's all going to happen. But the beauty of it really is it's accessible. The thing is, it's like windsurfing used to be in the 70s and 80s, except on steroids, because you're on a foil. So I think it's going to be as big as all that stuff, because you can get your 70-year-old, fit bugger on it doing it, and you can get your kids on it. You can give your kid, I give my 2-year-old a wing to play with on the beach in 15 knots, No way I'm giving her a kite to do that, but she's already jumping. She's 2, she's boosting with that thing.
Out of your current,
I just pulled my headphones out.
Out of your current range, which of the wings are best suited to things like flackers and backflips?
Which wings for tricks, man?
Which wings for tricks?
Front wings.
Which wing? Oh, which foil? Oh, for tricks, winging. It's the same sort of thing. Like if you're in lighter breeze and you want maximum drive, then yeah, you got to go higher up in the aspect range. So 1250, even the 1125. But if you are you know, if you've got lots of juice, then the 1050 is out. That's what it's just so much more forgiving. That lower aspect, that's probably the foil I use the most because, and it's the favorite, it is, to be honest, the favorite foil of all our team riders because it's so forgiving to ride, so you can push it way harder.
1050, yeah, sweet. All right, no, thanks for that. Look, we'll leave it there because I know it's late and we only got you for 15 minutes, man. You want?
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Armie. So, yeah, on behalf of everyone here, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, really
Awesome,
appreciate
you guys.
it, man.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah.
Better to do it in person one day.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, guys. Cool.